Hello, my name's Teacher David Adam and you're watching another episode of Fresh Off the Press English. Today we're looking at football. This news comes from the BBC and it's about the European Championship being postponed until 2021. Let's look at the headline. Euro 2020 has been postponed by 1 year until 2021 because of the coronavirus pandemic. Postponed. Postponed. If something is postponed, it means we're going to do it later than we thought. So we were going to do it today, but we're going to postpone it until tomorrow. Yes, we're going to do it later. Here, the championship is being postponed by 1 year. They were going to do it this year, but now it is postponed until next year. Postponed. Pandemic. Pandemic. A pandemic is when a disease has spread far around an area or a place or the world. Here we have a worldwide pandemic. It's when a disease is very common in different areas. It's a pandemic. European football's governing body made the decision during an emergency video conference. Governing body. Governing body. Now here we have the word governing. It's just the word we mean to the people who are in charge, the people who control something, make the choices and the decisions. They are the governing body. Here it's European football's governing body, the people in charge of football in Europe, the people who make the decisions and the choices about football in Europe. Conference. Conference. This is a meeting. A meeting. When we have a group of people getting together to talk about things, we call that a conference. Here it's a video conference, meaning they weren't in the same place. They were talking to each other through videos on computers or phones and iPads. A video conference, video meeting. The postponement provides a chance for European leagues that have been suspended to now be completed. Leagues. Leagues. This word leagues is something we use to describe normally a group of teams who are in a competition. They are in a league. Meaning they're all trying to be the best in the league, in the group in a way of teams. A league. Suspended. Suspended. Now this word suspended normally means something has been stopped. So the football in Europe has stopped. It's been suspended. They've stopped it. But now they're allowing it to be completed later on. So it's a short suspension. It's been suspended for the rest of the year, it looks like, while this virus goes around. Suspended. By moving the European Championship, Uefa now has a clash with the Women's European Championship, which is due to be held in England in 2021. Championship. Championship. Now this word championship is another word we use to describe a competition to find the best, the champion. A championship is one of the highest competitions in the sport or the game that you're playing is a championship. Everybody wants to be the winner of the championship. Uefa. Uefa. This is an acronym to describe the European football governing body, the people in charge of European football. The short way to call them is UEFA. UEFA. There's a longer name for UEFA, but I think it's in French and I don't want to, it's United Football Association. United European Football Association, something like that, but it's in French because UEFA is a French competition and I'm not the biggest football person in the world, but I know how to say UEFA. This is the reason why we have an acronym, because often larger names are too long to say. Yes, so we use a way to shorten them. UEFA. Klæʃ. Clash. If two things clash, generally it just means they crash into each other. They overlap or they crash into each other. Here we're talking about a time clash. The time of the new European competition and the women's competition will clash, meaning they will happen at the same time. This is a problem, or it's going to make things confusing next year, or maybe more interesting. You'll be able to watch two different football games, men's and women's, at the same time, which will be good. Due. Due. If something is due, it means this is when it needs to be done. It's due for tomorrow. Hurry up. When is it due? It's due next week. When does it need to be done? When do we need to finish this? The football is due to be held in 2021. That's their plan. That's when they were going to do it. It's due in 2021. Let's look at the words from today's lesson. Postponed. Postponed. Pænʻdɛmɪk. Pænʻdɛmɪk. Ğʌvənɪŋ. Ğʌvənɪŋ. Conference. Conference. You notice I don't say conference. You could say conference if you wanted, but I would say a native speaker is going to say conference. Conference. Liġz. Liġz. Suspended. Suspended. Championship. Championship. Uefa. Uefa. Klæʃ. Klæʃ. Due. Due. Write down these words and remember them. These words are good to know when we want to talk about sports or anything happening now. There are going to be a lot of things which are postponed because of the pandemic. And governments and governing bodies are going to make decisions. There's going to be conferences, meetings. These words can be applied to so many different situations that we are living through at this moment with the whole coronavirus going on. This is just one example of how the coronavirus is changing our lives. I'm hoping these words like postponed and suspension are more common and it's not cancellation. You know, if we can postpone things till later, then that's great. We can all start again after this time of uncertainty and worry that we're living through at the moment. We need the hope for the future, so I'm hoping more things can be postponed, suspended, but not cancelled. I don't want to lose what we have in this world, such a good world, such a good life. So many people enjoy the way we live our lives. I hope that after this time of the virus, of closures and cancellations, we can continue again. I hope it's a postponement to life but we will continue again in a few months. Thank you for watching this episode of Fresh Off the Press English. As always, don't be bored, be busy. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And remember always, subscribe, it helps me a lot. Support the channel, spread the word, let other people know who are learning English about this valuable, up-to-date resource. As always, don't be bored, be busy. I'll say goodbye.